In the beginning of the latest batch of Love is Blind episodes, we kind of get some closure on this Taylor Daniel Instagram stalker situation. So obviously, Taylor was adamant that she is sure that Daniel followed and unfollowed her and very likely could have been lurking through her profile, had an idea that she might be on the show, maybe knew that she was on the show, and then used all the information on her profile to basically get her to improve his chances of being with her on the show. Now, they both drag this shit out, talking about, oh, did your profile have this? Oh, I'm pretty sure your profile had this. I'm pretty sure it was you. Bitch, get out the phones. Like, we're having this conversation and they don't have their phones. Obviously, I get it. Netflix doesn't allow them to have their phones until a certain time. But for them to now have to sit down in front of the camera crew, let's be fucking serious now. Eventually, somebody does bring out a phone. She goes on it. She says she's got the unfollower app. I didn't know people still had this. In this day and age, that reminded me of a teenager when my followers would go down and I'll be like, who the fuck was it? But, she got her follower app and she, was saying how she must have lost a lot of followers, the last time she was on Instagram, and she's looking through it and she doesn't see him. Now, I don't know whether she had the time to really sit down and look through every single follower, because I don't know how many followers she had to begin with. Like, are we talking 10? Are we talking 20? Are we talking hundreds? Like, that's some very meticulous work that you have to do when you're already kind of under pressure. You've got a film crew on you, and then you've got the guy that you've accused in front of you. Maybe she didn't really have time to comb through it. But she says she didn't see him on there. But does that now mean that he's innocent? I'm not sure. Simply because he was very calm. Well, I wouldn't say calm, but very understanding of the situation. And then he also, during the interrogation, he was basically like, I might have, but if I did, like, I don't remember you. Like, I wouldn't have remembered you to, like, create this whole persona simply to match with you in the pods. Even though initially he was like, no, I definitely didn't. Now it's, maybe I did. Now it's, I could have, but if I did, I didn't remember. So it's like, which one is it? Because if I feel like I said, it really does depend on how many followers you're dealing with on your page. I have about 400 followers on Instagram. So I you know what? I don't even check my followers list anymore on Instagram, just because the algorithm is so trash on there. I barely check. I literally go in there to check my messages and that's it, to see what reels my siblings have sent me. That's about it. But if she's saying she'd be checking her followers, like she has the whole unfollower app, then I feel like she would remember. She has this feeling. And now I'm just wondering, is there ways to get around this? Will it pick up somebody who follows and unfollows within a certain time? Will it pick up somebody who soft blocks? Will it pick up that? I got to hear from people who use the app. Will it pick up a soft block? Because if he soft blocked her, would that show up on the app? But my thing is, even if he did do all of this, like even if he was guilty, I still really don't think it was that big of a deal. Like Instagram information, I don't think it was that big of a deal. If she said like, I saw him at my local coffee shop, or I saw him outside my house one day, that's where I recognize him from, then okay, sis, you got a point there. But Instagram, if you really were in love with this person and you found out that he, clocked you on Instagram before coming on here, I personally wouldn't give a fuck. And I personally wouldn't be giving all this aggro. Personally, I feel like it was an overreaction. But let's say this was really genuine. Like, she is really a big supporter of this experiment. She did not want somebody to know how she looked. She did not want anyone to come in with a cheat sheet. If the aim is ultimately to fall in love and marry someone, is this a big offense in the grand scheme of things? It would be one thing if he was doing it for reality TV clout, but if he genuinely wanted you as a wife, I don't know. Like, where do we draw the line though? Where do we draw the line in respecting the hustle, finding it cute and romantic, and finding it creepy and stalkerish? Where do we draw the line? But yes, ultimately, they resolve this. Taylor does apologize, and she apologizes multiple times, because I guess she has come to the conclusion that maybe she didn't see him, or she doesn't have the evidence to really be accusing him. And I feel like she also feels like she went around it the wrong way. Obviously, she's not allowed her phone, but like I said, if we're taking it from the perspective of, she felt very uneasy, she also had this kind of gut feeling that maybe this was a bit dodgy, a bit dangerous. I can see her not wanting to wait until she's got her phone back, because then she's not going to be able to really enjoy this engagement moon if she thinks that she's with this guy that's basically, cheated this whole process. I can kind of understand that. But I feel like the interrogation, the FBI interrogation, that was a bit too much. And like I said, she did apologize, and she says that she doesn't regret asking him about it, but she regrets the way that she went about it. And like I said, Daniel takes it very well. He's very nice about it, and he says that he understands. Quite frankly, for me, like, it would be over for me after that, because you coming at me crazy, especially if I was innocent as well, it would be over. But Daniel is here, so that leads me to believe that A, he's guilty and he's gotten away with it, or two, he is really in love with Taylor and he's very understanding. But at the same time, I am biased. I am here for women's rights and their wrongs too. So when Daniel basically instantly forgave Taylor for going a bit crazy, I was like, yeah, you know what? Hell yeah. Because regardless of whether you think it's like over dramatic or not, like, you actually do have to be cautious, and sometimes you do have to move a bit mad just to let these men know that, yeah, you are a little bit crazy. And Taylor says it herself, I can be a little bit crazy sometimes, I can spiral a little bit. And you know what, Daniel's here for it, because you know what, men don't like peace. They say they want someone to be their peace. Men don't like peace, they want problems. So Taylor, she presented a problem straight away, and he behaved accordingly, period. Because at the end of the day, us women, we go through all these emotions, we go through all these hormones. Like, one day you're gonna go a little bit crazy, honey. And how your man handles it, that's the true test. And you know what? By the end of this batch of episodes, I'm actually here for Taylor and Daniel. Like, I feel like they make a really cute couple, and I feel like they're the most serious couple in the season. They met each other's families, and then their families met, which you typically don't really see until the wedding day. So the fact that they have now met each other's parents, and I feel like it all blends really well. Like, they've survived the first crazy outburst. I'm actually here for this couple, and I find them really cute. And I feel like, this whole interrogation thing is just going to be like a little funny story, that they, tell their future family if they get that far. But I'm going to hear from you guys. What do we think about the whole interrogation situation? Are we still suspicious of Daniel? Are we not? Do we feel like he's innocent? And what do we feel about Taylor now that this situation has been resolved? Do we feel like Daniel should have dumped her? What do we feel about their company now? Do we like it? Do we not? Let me know what you guys think.